ground level. They're too good in the air. They're using the ball well, and Werribee have made a lot of errors which haven't helped their cause. It was a big effort to get back into the game, into the breeze. David King, boy, can this kid play. And as I said during the call, I think league clubs might have a look at him. Steinsy again. No, very hard for Werribee to get back into it. It'll be interesting to see whether Jack Aziz goes out to centre half forward or plays in the square, given they're with the breeze. McDonald in the ruck. Well, he has to play there. Billy Cracker, who got into the game. Big Havard there taking a mark and kicks a goal. This was one that lifted the side. But we're looking at a very, very good Port Melbourne side.
And the statistics, Phil, well, they do tell the story. They do endorse the scoreboard. Kicks, marks, handballs, free kicks comparable, and the hit-outs. Well, they levelled out a bit. I thought McDonald was a bit of a factor when he was swung into the ruck in that second term.
Yes, well, young Havard was struggling with the pressure of the game and not being experienced enough. But here we see Werribee making a bit of a push. Phil O'Keefe, bit of skylarking there, but kicks the goal. At this point, Werribee were looking
like
as though
they could get back into the game.
But into the breeze, it's tough going, Sam, isn't it?
But they made some elementary handling mistakes which allowed Port Melbourne back into steady and really their efficient forward line. And most importantly, I believe they've been far more adept at ground level and around the packs. On this occasion, they've linked up very well. Power, we see here, kick long. Up to half forward, and the Ziz caught behind but knocks the ball over. But that frugal Port Melbourne defence, they've just tidied everything up, haven't they? And Love...
When they get into attack, Sam, I mean, your heart's in your mouth, isn't it, if you're a Werribee supporter, because they are so dangerous. They've got a number of targets, Steins and Hicks and Crimes.
Love.
Also good.
Kieran drifting down from half-back. That was a bad mistake, wasn't it?
I meant to say Love, actually. Hicks hasn't been so much in it, but Love, yes, a dangerous player.
And one ponders the thought if... Jason Love had his true kicking boot on too, and the statistics we referred to earlier, Philip, well, they do endorse the scoreboard, don't they?
Well, as the old Jack Dyer said, if you ain't got the ball, Sammy, you can't do much with it.
Whatever, instead of being 6 goals up. Now, that's the tale of the day in a nutshell. That's the tale of the day. So on that, you should feel as though you have every right to be well in front. But what it shows you is the fickle nature of the game. And it shows you that if you're not prepared to make the most of every opportunity, then you leave these mongrels in the game. They have that many skirters that run forward of the ball, right? Now, I know you've got to put up with it because this is the brand of footy that they play. But what it does, it puts extra emphasis on winning.
You can't get much closer than that in a three-quarter time huddle. And, of course, Damien Drum, assistant coach for me at Werribee, talking about his old teammates. They watch the replay. I don't think they'll like that very much. It's 7 points, the margin. 36, you can see, at quarter time, 28. At half-time, 28 points at quarter time. And look at that kicking, 10-19, Phil, as Damien Drum was referring to.
But all's fair in love, war and football, they say, Roscoe, don't they? Yes, the kicking, sure, Port have had a lot more of the action, but the third quarter revival was pretty stirring by Werribee. Harkins out of the game, and they held the likes of Crimes there, and Steins didn't get quite in, but of course they were into the breeze. And this was one of the let-ins from Barlow, a poor kick, and Aziz onto it like a flash. Great left foot goal, and that was the spark. There were more to come. And this was a lot of this sort of football, tough in close, tight football. There was Cloesy off, poor tackle by Tim Herron. He'd be disappointed with that, results in a goal. Harkins gets it up, and we see Hicks.
Been well held though, Phil.
Yes, yes, he has been, and that was Adam James. There you see him, great goal. Bit of respite for the Borough.
Harrington in the ruck's been good.
Made a big impact on the game against that great Michael Laffey. And there's David King. Now, this bloke is a dynamo. Great running player.
Well bred, Phil, from Assumption College.
Yes, well, they breed them good there, Roscoe. The old Catholic schools. I used to go to one. And Donald McDonald, big mark, and he came alive too. Lifted his workload. Geary needs to get into it. Cullen.
It's been good, Cullen. Uses the ball well. Through
the hands here. Power, onto it. Through she goes.
And your man, Tim Reynolds, has also had an impact in that term.
16 possessions now. He's up the ante, Sam. He can do better than that. Here we see it again. Tight in close. Really tight. Good tackling. Plenty of pressure. Tim Reynolds, look at the kick. On the left foot. Right over the top there. Donald McDonald. The captain coach knows that he has to lead the way. He's the boss. Through she goes. And the Werribee supporters realise that they might be in the game. There they are cheering, waiting in expectation for another one, knowing that they're going to go home into the breeze in the last quarter. And Big Jack, this is what we need to see from you, Jack.
Yeah,
Donald, salt to the mark here, kicks it on his left foot. Smart play and excited. The game's alive. Port's real lift.
Yeah, thanks, Aidan. Yes, and Phil, I noticed that a lot of the Port players, perhaps by instruction, were sitting down at the three-quarter time break, or perhaps it's because they're really feeling the pinch, a bit tired. It's been a tough game, hasn't it?
Yes, it has. They've had the layoff. Remember, whether that'll help them in the final analysis remains to be seen. But Donald McDonald staking a claim. 7
points in it. The last quarter underway of the second semi. Perfect bounce. Laffey won it. Sean Bowden couldn't grab it. It was sharked. Werribee into attack. Power found Rayburn. I don't know if he looked. It's high. Aziz is in front. Barlow coming at him. Knocks the ball. Was that a high tackle? Out goes Bowden. O'Keefe, gee, got that out. Oh, there's a high one on Matthew Moylan. He'll take the free kick at halfback.
Matthew Moylan being quite good. Goes wide, looking for a target in Rhett Bowden. Couldn't find it. O'Keefe, Bowden fighting for the ball. It spills loose. Finally, Reynolds. Reynolds onto the Power. Can he kick? He kicks it long to Aziz and Barlow. Both spoil each other. Comes to ground level. Coming through is Edwards. The loose ball picked up by James, and James relieves the pressure. A long kick up to midfield, and Hicks is on the end of the loose ball. Runs out wide. Centres it. And Clohessi drifting down off his wing, marked 45 metres out.
Great vision from Ashley Hicks. That little bit of experience. Hasn't had a lot of the ball today, Hicks. But set it up for Paul Clohessi.
45 metres out, directly in front. And let offline, yeah, it's a let-off, Phil. The margin out to 8 points.
The goal there would have really hurt Werribee early in the quarter when your spirits are up. It's the last thing you want to see happen. They had an opportunity to score, lost it.
Paul Clohessi, 12 possessions.
Will they get these kick-ins right? Been bad all day.
Harrington's leading to half-back. I think that's the target. But Laffey's there as well. There's Harrington trying to knock it on. Reynolds. Yes, Phil, it's been one of the developments, isn't it, that covering those kick-ins, and both sides have had trouble finding running players.
Yes, they have. The zone defences are out.
Now Harrington pushes with Laffey. Sean Bowden thumps it. Crimes with Button. Button with a spoil. Big Munch is roving. Oh, and Button is jumped into.
That's what you get if you get in for the ball. Get in first.
Yes, Phil, have been certainly far more adept at that after half-time. Been far more aggressive and desperate for the ball. Button relays the ball out wide.
Connell. And quiet.
Connell from 50 metres on the outer side drives the ball up to centre wing, outer side of the ground, but waiting there is Laffey. That was a bad kick.
Terrible kick, Sam.
Laffey will centre the ball, looking for a target up half forward. It'll be in the form of Munch. There's the big man, but coming from behind his right, punches the ball well. Indiscriminate handball out of the pack. Well knocked on by Werribee, but tackled in the last dying moment. Button was happy to concede the ball over the line and out of bounds, about 10 metres around from the Port Melbourne goal.
Samet was lucky there, Phil, that attempted knockover.
He'd have been very popular in the huddle.
Now, Cullen can't pick it up. Love did. Out to King. Broke through with strength and pace. Too quick. Lost his legs. Werribee, Rayburn. Metaphorically speaking, that is. Power up to McDonald in front of Moylan. He goes to the big hand pass. There was a big wind-up. O'Keefe to the loose Bill Cracker, who's kicked 1-3. He puts it in towards Aziz in the square. Pushing and shoving his Barlow, and he just had the height and the position against Jack.
Got to use his body.